Da 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 da. You're too vain. Hello, everyone. I'll be putting the timestamp in the comments for when the video starts. So just take a look at that when you click on. We'll get started very, very shortly and go from there. I hope you've had a wonderful Friday night. I hope you've enjoyed the footy. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to get started quite shortly. We'll go from there. Maybe I'll just start with going through my team, what I've liked, what I didn't like. Yeah, we'll go through that. Maybe I'll just bring up the player stats as well. Why am I at? All right, hello, up the waz. Hey, hello, McGruff. Big win. We'll get into that shortly, mate. Congratulations. Everybody is going to be partying in New Zealand tonight because of that. I just want to go to tackles for a second. So how many minutes did Carrigan play? 65? Okay. All right, let's get into it. What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Rage Traders NRL Supercoach podcast. It's Friday night wrap up here. We had two massive games. 1 out of 2 for me on the tips tonight. I had Penrith to beat Broncos, but did not see the Warriors absolutely destroying the Roosters 42-18. Penrith Panthers winning 26-0 against the Premiers, which is absolutely massive. Queenslander, how you doing, mate? So let's get straight into it. What I did and didn't like in my team, I'll just obviously go over. Payne Haas 67. I mean, yeah, look, you'll live with a 67. I will tell you right now, I was a fingertip away of going Colo as my captain, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to play it safe. 67, you'll live with that, guys. In a game like this, possession was 60 to 40% going with or in favor of the Penrith Panthers, and honestly, the first half, it was like 70 to 30. It was really crazy. So this was just an absolute whitewash of a game, and I think Penrith have just come out and said, we are making a statement. We're not starting as bad as what we have. But let's go in the category of the games, right? Boyd thought he was Cleary. Look, let's get into that because yeah, there's a lot of things to talk about. So I don't want to skip and go back and everything like that. But I guess the most disappointing in terms of my team tonight would have been Paddy Carrigan. I expected him just to get a bit more Supercoach points. Only got a 50 for me for someone that's worth $636,900. Doesn't hurt too much because they played so poorly as a team, and I wonder if that's just affected his score a tiny bit. But I think coming into having Parramatta Eels next week, they're obviously going to look to get the win. I think they're obviously going to beat Parramatta, so hopefully that score gets boosted up and we'll see more of a relevant score to what he has. But let's get into the games. All right, only 2 games, of course. Just so you know, it's only like this weekend I'm going to be doing like after night sort of wrap-ups, and then from each week after that, I'm going to be going into just like your normal wrap-up at the end of the week. Hello, SC for life. Thank you, mate. I captained Nate. I thank you, mate. I captained Nate. Should update. Nate. Nate. Who's Nate? Tanner Boyd 131? Huh? I didn't even know that. Wait, what? That is absolutely insane. Warriors going 42-18. If you didn't win the game, I think one of the toughest things to see, not the toughest things to see, but the most annoying thing was you maybe expected Laban to do a bit better, only got a 22. A lot of people were talking him up. Some content creators were saying, don't go there, it's a trap. Clearly, they were right. If you did go to Jacob Laban, don't stress though. If you don't have Ryan Couchman, it's just an easy swap over trade. And I think that's why some people did go there, because they knew if it did turn to crap, they could just go to Ryan Couchman. I will just say, guys, I've got the security, like my security camera on my son at the moment who's sleeping. If he does randomly wake up, it could happen. I will have to leave straight away. So apologies on that. Then I'll redo the wrap up video tomorrow. I thought in this game, I watched the whole game. How am I going to say this? Warriors looked like the team that just really wanted to win more. And you see it in the scores and you see it in the scoreline. I know that's a pretty obvious thing to say, but like I thought maybe the forwards of Roosters would be better because they didn't have Mitch Barnett. But it was actually the other way around. I think Jackson Ford, even though it doesn't like replicate or show on like sort of his score, 69 is still great, but he did an amazing job. What is Savs? Send me link, I'll join you live. I'm doing it on YouTube, you spud. I can't. Are you listening to me? I'm not doing it on Riverside. I'm doing it on straight from OBS. So I can't send you an invite link, right? Type in YouTube anyway. But yeah, very, very cool to see, I guess, the forwards step it up for the Warriors. And I think the biggest thing was that Warriors have never been an 80-minute team. And I think this was the first performance I've really seen from them as a group, united, where they were just really good for 80 minutes. Obviously, you're not going to see a 100 plus from Boyd a lot, or maybe never again. But I think Harris Tavita was phenomenal. His support running was really good at times, just in those dead end plays where it like came to the last sort of moment and he was just there. I think RTS was huge this game. He had some great offloads. He had some great try assists. Capewell, again, you know, through the line, he just seems to just age like fine wine, and, you know, through the gap. And that was obviously Tanner Boyd helping out and stuff like that. Everyone played their part. I think Supercoach wise, RTS is now someone we possibly could look at, depending on how he goes in the next 1 or 2 games. I also think, geez, I mean, for us that own Purdue, if Cowboys perform really, really bad and Harris Tavita does have a performance like this again, it could be an easy moneymaker. In terms of like Leatawa, if you went there, this is why I said not to go him. I mean, in a game where they score 42 points, he only gets 24. That's really rough. Again, with Laban. Halasima, 39 with a try off the bench. Very, very rough. Aaron Clark, numbers have dropped a bit. I think that's something that maybe I didn't read into in my draft, so I'm not really happy with that, but that's just how it is. Again, I think the biggest winner from the Mitch Barnett sort of injury is Jackson Ford. And again, I think these 3 guys or 4 guys, Charles Nickel-Cookstad, RTS, Harris Tavita, and maybe like Capewell-ish a bit. They're just really good when the Warriors are on, and they're always around it. I think a massive play or shout out this game just has to go to Tanner Boyd starting off the game. Roosters' defense look really, really clunky at times. And to get away, this is the thing. Roosters looked awful, and you're still seeing a score of 92 from Tedesco. You're still seeing a score of 54 from a halfback of Sam Walker. even Crichton looked horrible. Him getting away with a 54 is actually insane to me. Even though he scored a try, I just think he looked really bad. He was a lot of errors, a lot of penalties he gave away. So if you're a Crichton owner, I still think hold on. But boy, I just feel like he's dropping off a bit in fantasy. I really, really do. He had a bit of a shock horror season last season. And I feel like it's, maybe I'm being harsh. It's only round 1 DCE there, but he just wasn't that amazing this game. Marky Mark, a bit of flashy stuff that turns into errors. I mean, Nat Butcher getting 70s, huge. Billy Smith, I think, was one of the best players alongside with Tedesco this game. I thought breaking lines, good offloads, try assist, great passing, good defense most times. Most of the times, Warriors were scoring left side anyway. So I'm really worried about the Roosters' right side defense because they were targeting DCE. Is Laban a buy? If you want to lose Supercoach, yeah. If you want to lose Supercoach, no, he's not a buy. He's definitely not a buy. 22 points. Get him out. One thing I was really, really annoyed about tonight and just really weird to see, Connor Watson, I don't know how many minutes this guy played, and I don't know why he didn't get more. I found this really weird. Yeah, let's have a look at it here because I just don't understand if he has like a niggling injury or something like that. But Connor Watson, minutes-wise, he gets 31 minutes. Like, this guy's an Origin player. Why is he only getting 31 minutes in a team where Reece Robson is injured? I just don't understand, especially when they're losing and the momentum isn't in their favor. I just thought he should have come on way earlier. I don't really understand it, but again, I'm not a coach. A big thing here, who was in my team, Blake Steep was in my team. He then got moved to the bench in the 90-minute updates. Then Spencer Leniu got hit with a hamstring injury, so Steep came back on, but only a 28 from Steep. He's a really good player, just needs more minutes, to be honest with you, so monitor him in the season. He could get a run. I think Suo Wong should actually be starting for the Roosters as well. He's just such a good player. When he came on, he looked really, really good as well. But yeah, I think the only silver lining in this is in a 42-18 dominated game from the Warriors, really, you're still seeing some high pretty scores from like Tedesco. Even Walker getting a 54 in this type of game is pretty massive. I think there were some moments where Walker was close to getting another try assist or just a try himself. So I still do like the pick himself. Nat Butcher got 57 tackles. Wow. So they just got absolutely pummeled this game, to be honest with you. But yeah, don't read in it overly too much because I think when Roosters do have a good game and they dominate and they click a bit more, you're going to see these sort of prices go up even more. These scores go up even more, which will be great to see. All right, next game, an absolute slaughtering and masterpiece. I'm sorry if you're a Broncos fan and you're in here, but holy moly. Mate, Nathan Cleary and the Penrith Panthers, they made a statement tonight. They said, we're not starting bad. We are absolutely here to win it this season and are doing it against the former champions, the premiership team, Broncos, and coming out a 26-0. Reece Walsh looks sluggish. I think they were all over Walshy. I think I really didn't like Goz in his position, to be honest. I think they're like missing that left sort of second row forward attack that maybe Pierre Cora was in. Hello, Nathan. Yikes, I have Walsh. Yeah. The one thing with Walsh is I said to myself, he's going to have a rough first game. Now, did I think he was going to score what did he score this game? A 36? You know what? I actually did think he was going to score around this. I literally thought he'd score anywhere from 30 to 50 points. What the scary part is I said, and I tipped the Penrith Panthers, I said, I'm not scared about this game. I expect Walsh and the Broncos to have a tough game. It's the next game against Parramatta that I'm scared of, where Walsh becomes a captaincy choice, where Haas is a obvious captaincy choice. I think Parramatta are going to be in for an absolute belting and just a high score next week. And I think Reece Walsh is going to have a really big game. But obviously, I'm not going to go there. But boy, oh boy, I expect a bounce back game from the Broncos here. I think Karapani actually looked pretty good this game. I think they just got out-muscled. And I think the errors really hurt them a lot. Walsh should be losing a LB. You think he's losing a line break as well? Uh-oh, that's not good. I'm glad I didn't start with Shibasaki. I was worried about this. Ezra Mam came off the bench. Willison went off. I don't know if he went off for the rest of the game after he came off. That boosted Haas's numbers a bit because he only had a 2-minute break. Again, I wasn't very happy with Carrigan. The one thing I'm thinking I can do is if Hopgood doesn't get banned is I can go Carrigan across to Hopgood or Carrigan across to, another 2RF. That looks pretty good. Jenkins gets a late try from an intercept pass from Reece Walsh. He looked absolutely amazing. I think Edwards and Cleary just really linked really well tonight. They looked absolute stellar. This is the biggest talking point here that I don't know a lot of people are going to talk about. 26-0 to the Penrith Panthers. I think that the scoring changes right now are so interesting with Nathan Cleary's score. A 64-26-0 with 60 to 40% possession. The scoring changes, you can see how much it actually has hurt the halfbacks a bit. And this was something where if I'm a Cleary owner, I'm very happy to see that they win and they dominated and that they look great. But I'm also like, I expect this to be like a 90 to 100, right? I expect this score in this type of game last year. Wait, can we not check this up? Fox Stats NRL. Wait, I'm really curious now. I completely forgot I can check this up. I should be doing this on the wrap-ups, but let's just have a quick look. So on Fox Stats, and what's going on here? Why is it giving me a video? Hello? Why am I getting videos, guys? Huh? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Huh? Are they just not up yet? I guess they're not up yet because the game's just finished. That's weird. So Tanner Boyd had 123 Supercoach points from Fox Stats. Tedesco actually had 86. Sam Walker would have got 78 tonight under the new under the old. Wow, that's actually interesting. But yeah, if this doesn't work, oh wait, here we go. I don't know what was going on. So player stats wise, Carrigan tonight would have only got a 50 on Supercoach. Haas would have got a 67. Cleary would have got a 59. Interesting. Wow, that is super interesting. So really, there was no difference. Cleary would have actually done worse under Supercoach stats. That's mostly not a bad thing. That means it just didn't really fall into his hands tonight of like being like the try assist, line break assist. But that's still, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. But yeah, going back to talking about the Panthers and also Papali'i started, no? They switched him back on, a 59. Interesting to see. Casey McLean scored the first try and only got a 40. I think that is very scary if you're an owner, because also with Brian To'o, who was in my NRL fantasy team, only a 37 for that amount of dominance. I think what we're really seeing is these young centers are just providing so much value right now. So that's going to be something to look at. And honestly, I mean, nothing much to talk about here in terms of the Brisbane Broncos. I mean, let it be. Horrible first game. See what happens. But yeah. You have to pay for Fox Sports Premium? No, you're not for the stats, though. Not for the stats. Hello, Alex, by the way. Hello, everyone. Forgot to say hi. Hope you're all doing well. But yeah, again, just going back to my team, what I'm going to look at doing. Tomorrow, I still have... So I'm at... I don't know what you guys are at, but I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... I think I still have 7 players to play. I'm at 824. Colo, David Fafita. I think I'm going to go with Jesse Colquhoun, 3. Then I've got Kinney, Iro, Farnworth, Latrell Mitchell. Yeah. So I've got 7 players left for 824. I think for me, either buy... I might go Noah Martin, but yeah. Ramian to score Iro tomorrow. That would be absolutely huge. Perfect timing. You have your answer. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, Bazza, but how are you doing? So yeah, the one thing I'm thinking about doing is getting off Jesse Colquhoun to have more cash in my salary, because I can see what needs to happen with my team. Like, I want to possibly get Karaz in. I need to get Ryan Couchman in, obviously, and maybe even Joe Chan if he retains a spot. Like, just to generate a bunch of cash. Also, I can go Carrigan down to Hopgood. One thing I said in last night's wrap up, guys, is if you're a Hopgood owner, stick with it. 52-4, and he got sin binned, and he got away with like a 50. That's huge. I'm on 822 with 6 players left, including captain. Very nice. Where should I do a podcast? In a podcast studio, I guess. I don't know what you mean again, my big dog. Sorry. But yeah. I held on to Brandon Smith. I didn't go on to Aielu. I have 8 left for 715. Yeah, it could be a bit of a rough round. Anyway, didn't go Harry Grant, which is a bit tough. But again, super happy that I started with Lasardi. That kind of helped me a lot this round. There's a sneaky chance that I might, honestly, go with the little Sanders play tomorrow as my last reserve. Just putting that out there. I wish it was a Moses Leo. I really wanted to do it. I couldn't. Really interested to see Kinney score tomorrow. And see if Sharks absolutely belt them. But the way the games have been going, it's just been pretty big dominations besides this. Even Newcastle, like North Queensland, look pretty average. I'm hoping the Sharks and Gold Coast game is actually closer than what people think, because Gold Coast Titans defense has looked a bit up. And for any Colo captainers out there, Chan looked good running off Hughes. Yeah, I think that right side, I kind of wish Lasardi was there, but that's not the go. So I still have little plays I can make. I'm not sure what I can do. I'm thinking maybe I just go Noah Martin and hopefully he has a really good game. Or I think there's also a big chance if the weather looks good, I just go Flegler. But yeah, they're little things I'm looking at. I'll make a decision on and then all in. Also, I'm really, really big on sort of looking at Taylor May next week or something, but I'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that's your Friday night wrap-up, legends. Thank you so much for watching. Can see Kinney scoring low. Sharks probs put a lot on them. Yes, I agree, but... Yeah, I agree. KPP. Yeah, also KPP. So this is what I've done here. Like, maybe in hindsight, I should have just had Carrigan as Kalen Ponga, but Carrigan is my Kalen Ponga or fullback sort of switch. So this is why I have 164,000 in here, and my flex is Carrigan. Because I said to myself, I know one of my front row forwards or my 2RFs are going to be just a bad choice. At the moment, that could be Carrigan. Easiest swap is I just literally go Carrigan to even like a Tedesco, Carrigan to a Walsh, Carrigan to a Ponga. Like there's so many things I could do here. So that was my whole plan. But we'll have to wait and see. Even I can still, if Kinney looks awful, right, and the Titans are starting bad, I will not hesitate to trade out Kinney, bring Chester down, and get a center in. It's been a cheapies week. You're 100% right, McGruff. You are right. And I think if you didn't have Moses Leo, Joe Chan, Lasardi, who else has there been? Tom Chester. It's going to be even set 2-2. Like at least 3 of those 5 guys you're doing. And Couchman, Ryan Couchman, you're doing whatever you can to get those guys in as soon as possible and maybe boosting for it. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. It's going to be really, really interesting. I'm going to do a final. Oh, wait. Tomorrow's Saturday. So we got 2 games and then Sunday. So maybe I'll do one tomorrow night. 6:35 p.m. is a bit rough for me because I put my son down for bed and that. And then Sunday. And then we'll be back to one wrap-up video a week next week. Let's just go through some questions here. If you have a question, just ask through it now, and then I have to jet off because my son might wake up at any minute. Let's just see here. I'm already off Peasant, to be fair. Yeah, I think it's just look, they lost 52-4. It's his old team. They punished him, man. Like, don't read in it too much. I said this to everyone. Eels have the toughest draw in the comp. Like, it's absurd. I just feel so sorry for the Eels team. 52-4. Let 52 points in a row get scored against them. They're versing like 3 or 4 of the top like hardest teams. Super, super hard. But once that round 5 comes along, I think there's going to be a lot of good money in the Eels because of the break evens, and I'll be looking heavily at that. Even like someone like your Mitchell Moses, your Hopgoods, even Katoni Katauga. There's so many. So yeah. That's going to be interesting. All right. I think Titans will give Sharks a hard time. Kinney could be in for a big one. That is an absolute big statement to make. I think, you know when Sharks always have a close game with someone? Like when Sharks versus Knights, for some reason, they always have a close game. I think it's going to be the same for this one. Like, I won't be surprised if Sharks win by like 8 or 10 points, right? But it was still a close game. But we'll have to wait and see. Thoughts on no TSA BA? Wait, what? What is no TSA LBA for Walker to Smith and Cleary? Wait, what? Wait, can you say this in English? Am I dumb? What is TSA LBA? Like line break assist? Wait. Are you saying trades? Sorry, am I dumb here? Am I just tired and not reading this right? Thoughts on no TSA LBA for Walker to Smith and Cleary to Edwards. Wait, are you saying from the game that it wasn't awarded? Like, what are my thoughts that it wasn't awarded? Sorry, Ash. I thought there was a weird one with Sam Walker, no, and they didn't give it. I saw it in one of my chats, and they were like, wow, they didn't give that try assist to Sam Walker. Yeah, Sharks do defend fullbacks well. You were very right, Dan. That's what makes me scared of the Kinney play. But we'll wait and see. What I can also do, which I actually don't mind, is I can bring Buy out and put Howe down and get Flegler in. But I'm investing so much money into my FRF. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know, like last time they made changes in the morning. They might make changes in the morning again, Ash, so don't stress. Like there might be things that get awarded and that was incorrect. So that could change. But anyway. 3 more games left, lads. And then we go into a massive, massive video next week. Team list. Hopefully Makasini is named. Don't stress. Look, if I can get away with having like an 11-ish hundred week, 1100 to 1200, I'll be happy. I'll be fine. But yeah, boy oh boy. I also think there's a really big chance where I just want to get Dylan Lucas in pretty quickly. That guy looked like he was doing absolutely nothing for Newcastle, and he popped out like a 70. It was insane. So yeah, anyway, we'll get into that in another video. All right, legends, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I love doing these little wrap-up videos. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Don't stress. And up the wires, I guess. Up the wires. Peace, guys. Take care. Have a